Rishuna, you're the host.
Shall I start the webinar?
Just a second. Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Joseph R. Cleo. Hearty welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome,
Good
sir.
evening.
We are launching the webinar now, and
Sure.
and Ms. Sushma will pray, and then we will continue.
Yes.
We're going to start the webinar now.
Okay.
We are live.
Ms. Sushma, you start the prayer.
Good evening. We'll begin this session with a prayer. Heavenly Father, as we begin this day of learning, we thank you for the strength and insight you have granted us so far. We seek your presence once more as we engage in today's session. Bless our speaker with wisdom and clarity. May the thoughts shared today give us a deeper sense of purpose and commitment to the calling of education. Help us to be educators who not only teach but inspire, who lead with understanding and serve with compassion. Let this day begin meaningful learning and reflection. In your holy name, we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Sushma. Good evening, dear participants. Thank you for connecting from India and also from inside the country. I would like to begin by saying the question is not whether machines will think, but how we will ensure they think in ways that benefit humanity. As we explore today on the topic of ethics in AI curriculum, emerging trends, today is the third day of our faculty development program on empowering faculty for ethical teaching in the digital era. We are reminded of the critical role educators play in shaping the next generation of AI professionals. This session promises to be a valuable opportunity for us to discuss the latest developments and best practices in integrating ethics into AI education. I'm excited to facilitate this conversation and appreciate the participation of our esteemed faculty members. Let's work together to ensure that AI curricula not only advance technical knowledge but also prioritize human values and ethics. This online FDP is a joint initiative between DMI Engineering College RLY Moli and Globethics South Asia Center. As the regional manager, my name is Rajulla. For Globethics, I'm working with Globethics. I would like to welcome all participants and esteemed guests, including Reverend Sister Dr. Arogya Mary, the administrator, Dr. A. Albert Raj, the principal, DMI Engineering College in his absentia, and Dr. Pradeepa, the coordinator of this program from DMI Engineering College. With that, I would like to introduce our speaker for today's session, Dr. Joseph R. Cleo. Let's welcome Dr. Joseph R. Cleo and engage in a productive discussion. Dr. Leo Joseph is an accomplished educator, corporate trainer, and life coach with over a decade of experience in teaching and training. He currently serves as an assistant professor in the Department of English at Loyola College, Chennai. Holding an MA in English Literature, an MPhil in English Language Teaching, and being UGC NET qualified, Dr. Joseph brings academic rigor combined with real-world insights. Beyond academia, he has spent more than 15 years conducting workshops and seminars for students, educators, corporate professionals, and government officials. His core areas of expertise include effective communication, emotional intelligence, leadership development, adaptability and resilience, coaching and mentoring, and creative problem solving. He is also well versed in design thinking, agile methodologies, digital literacy, and ethics and entrepreneurship. Dr. Joseph has trained corporate employees, including engagements with Tata, conducted specialized programs for undersecretaries of the government of Tamil Nadu, and served on the TNPSC mock interview panel. He has held leadership roles such as National Coordinator of the CCBI Youth Commission and Executive Coordinator of Udayam Foundation. And he has also worked internationally as a counselor with the communities rising in the USA. He's a passionate storyteller, traveler, and facilitator. Dr. Joseph Leo is dedicated to empowering individuals and communities through education, innovation, and compassionate leadership. He is here to give his talk on ethics in AI curriculum emerging trends. Let's virtually applaud and welcome him. Dr. Joseph R. Leo, kindly take over the floor. We applaud you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the introduction. And greetings to everyone here. And I'm immensely happy to be here. It is my honor. And without much ado, let's go ahead straight to the topic because we have a lot more to cover. With the time that I have, it will be very, very challenging to cover everything that I have intended to share. But let's see how far we will be able to complete it. So allow me to share the screen. I just want someone to
Yes, sir, it's visible, but please make it full screen.
definitely just I'm unable to make it full. Just a moment.
We can see, but it is not presentation mode.
Yeah. Okay. I'm unable to make it full screen.
You can go to slideshow and start from the beginning. On top, you will see.
Just a moment. Yes, yes. I hope it's full screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I hope it is still full screen.
Yes, it is.
Right, right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry for that. All right.
Yes.
So let me start with very simple question to you, right? Just to brainstorm a little, and then we go into much deeper into the particular topic, ethics in AI curriculum, and also emerging trends. So when we look at ethics in AI curriculum, the first question which I wanted to ask you is a simple question. All that I wanted to know is what are the AI tools you use in your daily teaching, right? I don't want to waste much time here, but at the same time, I will be very happy if the participants just type in any one or two that comes to your mind. What are the AI tools you use in your daily teaching? Just take a minute, just type in whatever that you feel or whatever that you have been successful in incorporating AI in your classroom. Right? I can see many comments, including Grok, Gamma, right? Gamma is a very good tool, amazing tool for PPT. And most of you are mentioning Meta, Gemini, and ChatGPT. All right. And Grok, yes, Grok is becoming a very important tool. Magic School, yes, right. And what else? U.com, Copilot, yes. Uh, no one has, surprisingly, no one has mentioned DeepSeek, right? The Chinese version of AI. Canva. All right. Thank you for the answers. You can still type in. You can take some more time. Napkin is another important tool. ResearchGate. All right. We move on to the next one. What about answering to this particular question, right? Do you encourage students to explore AI tools in your classroom? Just yes or no. A very simple question. Do you encourage students, when they to complete an assignment, to do a group project for presentation? How many of you agree to the fact that yes, I agree? Anybody say no? I can see some of them sharing no. Okay, yes, but with caution, to verify the responses. Definitely, that's what we are here. And yes and no, more yes, less no. I would say at least 85% of you are agreeing to the point that yes, we allow students to explore AI and incorporate them. And then some of you are saying no. I hope that you have your own reasons for saying that. Probably the particular answers might change at the end of this particular presentation. Let's see how it goes. And I also wanted to ask you one simple another question. Do you think AI is creating the impact you want for the future of education? Just answer yes or no. Do you think AI is creating the impact you want? Remember, you want for the future of education. In your perspective, what will be your answer? Not always, to a certain extent. Some of you are saying yes. Some of you are saying no. All right. And okay, it's misused. All right. Sometimes already few schools have implemented. That's a very good point that we are going to cover that. Only 50% of the time that you do that. So here is where we have problem, right? At first, you're using AI. Second, most of you believe that yes, it is good for us to ask our students to incorporate AI tools in their presentation, classroom discussion, and whatever. But when it comes to, do you think AI is creating the impact you wanted? We are not controlling AI. We are not developing AI, even though some of the universities might be doing that. But when it comes to impact and the future I want for my kids, for the education that I visualize, it may be a little cynical to say that it's yes and no together. There's a little bit of a question in our mind, a blank, because we are yet to understand AI completely, right? That may be the answer that many people are looking at. Last question. What are your biggest concerns about AI? I know most of you said yes. I know some of you said no. But what are your biggest concerns about AI? Because these answers will become our foundation for this particular topic. Okay, ethical use, right? You are in the right FDP, and objectivity. Okay, theft of intellectual property and plagiarism. That's a very good point. Laziness. That's another important point. Mindless solution presentation, plagiarism, loss of creativity. We lose our creativity by doing that. We lose our skill. All right, and thinking capacity of students may be lost. Some can even add that even mobile phones have done the damage of making students never enter a library, for example. Over dependence, anything is in our hands. Why do we even need to sit to a lecturer or listen to all those things? Self drive to find solution. Okay, plenty of answers. Others, I would encourage you also to go through the chat box, to understand it better. Thank you for all those amazing answers. Right, you are making my job very easy. Most of the time, and I think I can share the next slide with you to make it even more understanding. The percentage of teachers who have integrated AI into their daily teaching practices, right? I'm not joking when I tell you it's a Forbes report. And according to that, 60% of teachers, I mean 60% of teachers are already using AI in their classrooms. The responded, the the response maybe like slightly less, 60%, only 60%. The no 35% may not be the people who belong to that. Maybe it is yet to get into a knack of it, yet to use it. When you start using it, I definitely believe that you will stick onto it. That's how AI is being programmed. That's how the tools are being programmed. So this integration that is being used for tasks such as including grading, for example, grading has become easy. Tracking student progress have become easy. Earlier, we used to have this attendance record and other things. Now it is actually making it very easy, right? And also, it also reports, Forbes also reports that significant majority of the educators, right, believe AI has positive effect on teaching and learning. This is something surprising. That is why I asked you the first question. What are your concerns, right? And out of these 60%, people believe that it has positive effect on teaching as well as learning. That is why we are here to go in depth about what it is all about, and how are we going to understand it, and is it by understanding that we will be able to fully utilize it, and by utilizing it we can make an amazing learning environment, because the world is progressing. We also need to adapt, right? As Max Tegmark rightly says, no one can stop the progress of artificial intelligence. No one can. Either you use or you don't use, but you will not be able to stop it just by saying, no, I am not interested in it. No, just because you feel that the students are becoming lazy, they have lost their creativity, they have lost their focus. There is no, clarity or free thinking in their mind. So I'm not going to allow it, because we are not going to stop it. It will inevitably be a central force in our future. Imagine this. I will take the same point later, but imagine this. AI was there. AI was there even before we thought it was. The ChatGPT and other things came into existence much later. And COVID and that particular zone after 2020 is a starting point where we all started to get involved with the technology. We all started to make use of Canva. We started using Zoom, for example. We started using most of the tools and other areas, not only AI but other anything related to technology during that particular period. And now there are many teachers in their 40 plus, in their 50 plus, at the verge of retirement. They still feel happy. Why haven't these things introduced much earlier? I would have done a very good job. But at the same time, they also have a little bit of concern that whether it is going to be the last resort, whether it is going to stop every creativity aspect of students, the personal touch, whether it is going to be just machine talking to another machine, the students using a machine and sending it to us, and we use another machine to validate it, to grade it, but it is going to be different. So let us not consider this as something that as a different thing. Don't take AI, as a tool, but consider AI as an assistant. It has been helping us. You can personalize learning. It can help you personalize learning experiences by analyzing student performances and learning gaps. We have always felt in a traditional method, 65 people, sometimes even 80 students are there in our classroom, be it school, college, and so on. And how is it possible for us to touch them individually? How is it possible for us to track them individually? And AI is going to be a very big assist to us. It's a kind of a blessing for us if we can use it in the right way. So last one, I just wanted to ask you this question. Can we trust AI to be fair? Who is responsible when AI makes a mistake? Can anyone answer? Just wanted to know. Can we trust AI to be fair? And who is responsible when AI makes a mistake? What do you think? What's your What's your answer? What do you think of? The inventor or the user, right? Okay, not completely. We have to be careful with the final version. No, the person who uses is the responsibility, right? Because you use it. Human being, because it's training the person, okay? The user, okay? Right? Most of your answer are going to be the users, the one who is doing it, the one, okay? Some of you are going to a level where the people who developed it, they need to do it. All right. Even human makes mistakes too. All right. All right. You can type in more answers. Now, moving on, to the important point. So far, we have discussed about, generally about the AI, how far we have come, the tools that we use in a daily basis, right? But we move on to the topic specific, ethics, particularly ethics. And when we talk about ethics, I believe when if you attended the first day session by Dr. Sukhwinder Singh, in the first day itself, he explained the 4 ethical principles in teaching, right? That was a very good explanation, talking about integrity, talking about fairness, talking about transparency, talking about respect for learners, responsibility and accountability. These are some of the areas, some of the values or ethics Mr. Sukhwinder Singh highlighted upon. That makes it easy for my presentation that we are going to talk about. We are going to talk about the 7 principles for AI in education, right? These 7 principles for AI in education, developed by World Economic Forum. It talks about some of the key things that we need to utilize, that we need to highlight, we need to emphasize. Be it purpose, be it knowledge, be it compliance, be it balance, be it integrity, agency, and evaluation. Right? We will cover that one by one. All that I wanted to inform you prior, before we step into it. AI is there for a very long period of time. ChatGPT we have been using. And whatever that we go through right now, look at the first question when you all simply bombarded the entire chat room by saying the things that you use, the AI tools that you use. Do you really believe that these are the end of everything that AI has to offer? No, there are plenty. There are plenty of tools. If there is time, I will also give you a few suggestions of certain tools at the very end if there is still time. But let me tell you, and let me be very clear on that. Whatever that we are using AI within our curriculum, within our classrooms, among our students, it's not going to be the end. It's just a tip of the iceberg. It's just a mere point some percentage. There's going to be more and more tools that's going to be incorporated. There are more and more fact checker and all the other softwares that are going to come in. But these ethics are going to stay. These ethics are still going to be, there even after 30 years, even after 6 decades, because any tools that's going to change, or any AI that comes in along with teaching or learning or curriculum or pedagogy, these are the tools that you need to remember. These are the principles that are going to be a foundation for us, a formula for us, or a kind of a methodology for us to recheck, check. I think one of the participants rightly mentioned a word. You can use AI fully, but the last format, the last one has to be ours. We need to decide the final the final copy that you're going to choose. Make sure that you follow these 7 principles. And before it goes out of our hand, before we present, before we publish, before we compile it as a book, we need to make sure that we follow these codes, we follow these principles, because otherwise it is going to be too much out of a human hand. So let me go ahead one by one and see how far we have utilized so far. And I also try to give you a few real life examples, right? And see if we are able to cover certain things slowly. So ethical principle 1, purpose-driven AI integration. Very simple. Purpose-driven AI integration. AI should explicitly support educational goals, student well-being, and administrative efficiency. Very simple. If it is not, then you need to rethink before using it. It must align with the shared vision of education. In other words,
It must align with the shared interest of our vision and mission. It can be a particular educator's mission. It can be the company's goal. It can be the vision and mission of and core principles in which the institution has been formed, right? The college or the university, no matter what, we need to make sure that what we use must have a direct connection with the vision and mission of the institution and also ourselves, right? That's number one. Two, transparency in AI usage. Now, coming to this particular column, what we need to understand is there are universities, there are colleges, institutions using AI for student admissions.
Informs applicants about how AI assists in reviewing application. Tour agencies are using it. Swiggy, Zomato is using it. Most of the institutions have incorporated that. AI assists in reviewing applications. HR, many companies use such a little tool to review, to assess. In other words, it also helps the applicant to process it in the right way. But
when it comes to ensuring that students know AI is not making final decision. It's not about making the final decision about it. So as you can see, it should be clear explanation on how they make decisions. Educators and students should understand the reasoning behind AI generated recommendations. What you see is not completely as you're seeing. Promote transparency in the development of AI systems in education. So all that I wanted to tell you is it is not about what you use, but it is also very important that you're transparent about it. And only when you're transparent about it, not only as educators, we need to be transparent. We also it is necessary for us to give the transparency in classroom with the learner, with the students, so that they are very clear in what to use and what not to use, right? Third one, privacy and data protection. Now coming to here, it's a very sensitive area. It's very dangerous area. In other words, the ethical principle also rightly says the system must safeguard the student data and comply with privacy regulations. Sometimes the institution may be little liberal, that sometimes they share all the data to everybody. It has happened before. I have had an experience, right? Instead of sharing, because we consider it very easy, instead of sharing, let's say a college has mentoring program. A 10th student is assigned to one particular professor. To make it more easy, what they do is they share the entire list of students of the entire college and share the professor's name next to the 10 students. But the information is sent to everybody. It happens when it happens in Excel, when it happens in a normal email conversations. Think about AI. Sometimes we lose those kind of data. So we need to ensure that data is collected and used responsibly. We need to obtain informed consent regarding data collection and usage, implement robust security measures to protect sensitive student information. We need to do that, right? For example, how before logging into Zoom in, I'm getting a very clear statement that it has been recorded. Similarly, when we use AI, we need to find certain data protection areas where there are documents. We need to follow that. Then, for example, in real-time example, I can give you many companies, they don't have HR policy. Many colleges only recently they have started having internal complaints committee and all the other agencies, because it takes time for people to understand. If that is the case, then think about AI and the privacy and data protection. It is going to be there in our calendars, in the handbook that we have, in the website that we use. It's going to be there in another 3-4 years. We will be finding these kind of cell or these kind of forums, committee, similar to that of other committees in the college. We are going to utilize we are going to use all these things, so that it is important for us to safeguard the sensitive information of the students, right? And moving on to ethical principle 4, equity and access. So we need to ensure that AI in education does not widen existing educational disparities. That's very, very important. Who gets access? Who gets the possible outcome? The who is used, right? Who is encouraged? We need to question that. So irrespective of the department that we are, irrespective of the field or domain we belong to or the specialization that we cater to, it is important for us to make sure that AI is for everyone. We need to remember that, like education for all, we need to also have a slogan like AI for everyone, right? Because everything is going to be there, everything is going to be incorporated. It is surprising sometimes what AI can do. It's surprising sometimes that even Canva recently introduced a small new feature called coding. Coding is available in Canva, right? I pity the people who studied coding, right? I understand coding is is used still. Coding is very relevant now, but making it easy for people who wanted to use it in a simple way, right? Coding has become easy. Canva now makes websites. You just have to type in and then it writes a code and then it gives you a website straight away, right? It is more challenging now to get the answers from ChatGPT or Grok or Gemini or let's say DeepSeek. It's even more challenging for us to create a probable, a proper, a suitable, and a correct prompt to get the best results out of that. It's sometimes very interesting, right? How can I make it sound like me? How can I make it equal, when it comes to creativity? Can I make it? Can I play with it? Can I challenge it? Right? That should be the way in which we address AI, or that should be the way in how we can collaborate AI into our curriculum. So here we are. When we let us not forget that in order to do all these things, in order to do creativity in everything, we may not have even thought a slightest about AI when it comes to equity, AI when it comes to everyone, inclusive, right? That is something that we need to remember more in our classroom lectures or the way in which we progress. So by doing that, we also need to bridge the digital divide by providing equal access to AI tools and resources. It's going to be there. But let's also not forget, by doing that, let's also give equal access and equity to libraries as well. Let's not close them down by using immense, a lot of AI tools and resources, but also let's use them. How can we incorporate library and how can we make them use AI to make them go read a book from the library, to go check them, to go do something in the outer world, an exposure visit, industrial visit. But let them anyway, let them use AI. But at the same time, let's also use other areas, traditional classroom teaching, some of the amazing areas that we have always tried inculcating and experimenting in our classroom setup. Also, promote inclusive design principles to cater to diverse student populations. That's very important. Understanding students and their situation, their story is very important before anything else, right? Whether we talk about AI, whether we use any other methods or teaching tools, aids, etc., it's important to understand students and how far can AI be used to include everybody. How far AI can be used to gather everyone, to bring closeness, to achieve a few moral grounds, a moral value. As I said, that goes well with the policy of the institution or the mission and vision of the institution. Moving on to the fifth one, human oversight and accountability. Right? Very simple. Human oversight. We need it. It has to be. It has to be. Name it some of the biggest exams. I can quote GRE. GRE exam is considered to be very costly. One thing is costly. You can write anytime, but it is very costly. But at the same time, the way in which the essays are written, the way in which the computer grades them is amazing. And you'll be surprised to know. And when the computer is grading that, and when AI is used to grade them all, and when there is a disparity, when there is a disparity, and whenever they have this kind of a problem, the humans version is the last one. The manual grading becomes the final one. We need to understand how far the human role of AI as a tool to enhance human teaching and learning. That is very, very important. So we also need to maintain a balance between AI driven automation and the importance of human interaction. That's very, 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 very important. People may say AI may be smarter than human. Of course, we understand that, but there's a silly argument that always comes in. Computer is smarter than human being, but who invented computer? Who created computer? It's a code that I added inside that particular software is making all these programs. But who invented those codes? Now we are in a challenging environment. The codes can also be done. There's a news recently that when left alone, the AI can actually have a dialogue. They are trying to communicate with other AI entities around. There's a study that is going on. Sometimes looks very, very serious. Sometimes it may be alarming, scary, but at the same time, how far human are going to use this, right? If you are in your house, if you have a kid, right? If you have children around, you will know the importance of human oversight when it comes to a remote of a TV, right? That voice control of a TV remote. It's challenging every day. And the kid who is yet to speak, who is yet to start speaking a word, is able to control how it knows the difference between an Instagram status and a Reels and a WhatsApp status. It knows when to swipe right to left and when to go up to down. That is something amazing to see. So human intervention is highly essential here, but at the same time, teachers and administrators must retain control over AI-driven decisions. When you make decisions in your institutions, when you are going to decide on certain things, yes or no, you need to think, rethink, and also visualize for the future. How far are we going to allow this to enter? All the amazing personalities who typed in, I'm having a little bit of concern on these areas. We need to understand this. I'm a little bit skeptical about this, right? We need to know that. I think someone rightly commented saying that whatever it is, whether AI might rule us, but when it comes to creativity, a human can never be beaten by a machine. That's an amazing creativity that we have, and how far teachers or educators, as ourselves, administrators, some of you are going to utilize that, and how far, where do we draw a line when it comes to this particular ethical principle? That's very, 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 very important, right? Moving on to the next one. While talking about this, let's also not let's not forget that can AI replace teachers? It's another question that comes very often talks about it. AI should assist educators, not replace them. I think somebody rightly mentioned you're not going to lose a job, against AI. AI is not going to take your job away, but you need to be careful about the people you need to be careful about the person who has, equipped, some of the knowledge of AI. You need to be careful with that particular person, because that person might be able to replace you. That's how far AI has gone right now. So moving on to the ethical principle number 6, right? Literacy for students and educators. That's
Literacy. It's sometimes shocking, right? Literacy rate of a particular state. Literacy, what's the literacy rate of India? Right? We might have heard the word literacy there. The literacy is directly associated to the places where no schooling happens, not many, where many dropouts happen. But we are going to use that term again. AI literacy is going to come in. Schools should teach AI literacy to help students. You'll be amazed to know how early a student is going to engage that, how early the books, the publication unit, right, the publication industry is going to incorporate AI. They're already doing it, right? They're already doing it. We have it in the form of QR code, and this one and that one incorporate something out of that. I believe that it's going to be very, very interesting life that we are going to see. If you are someone, let's say less than 50, you're going to watch how future is going to going to open new arena when it comes to school education or secondary education, be it higher education, because we are going to look at everything that we have to see. So schools, I'm mentioning schools, and not just because of school, it's going to be there, but also it is very much applicable in a college environment, right? We are going to critically help students to engage with AI tools. Start early to have a very good understanding of AI, instead of wait. Like for example, education to love, like sex education, there are certain topics that we need to cover very early, than wait till drag it for later in their life. We have the obligation, we have the responsibility to start early. So educators must receive training to effectively integrate AI into teaching. We have to. If we are going to, the students are challenging. The students are very, very challenging. They're able to understand, but let me tell you this: you need to give a good round of applause for yourself. You need a pat on your shoulder, because whether you're introduced to AI or not, you look at an assignment even now. You look at an assignment and you can find out this particular assignment is not done by the particular student. You can easily identify that. You know something is wrong. We can easily identify. I don't know why. I don't know how, right? But we know for sure the way it is worded. You simply ask the student, where did you copy from? He will tell you, yes, madam, yes, sir. It's from the chat GPT. It's from this one, right? The creativity is lost. But what we want is train them young, train them early. When we do that, I believe that they will also, fall in the right place when the way we use, AI. And I think it is very good to call AI literacy programs need to be introduced in schools and institutions. If you're one among the organizers, administrators, I think the bridge courses that we usually have in the first two or 1 week, when they start their course in college, be it engineering, arts and humanities, whatever it is, I think it's the best time to introduce AI literacy as well, so that you can tell them straight away, this is how, this is what we expect from you, this is how far you can go, these are the limitations that we have. Or if you have a policy, then you can drop in there, so that the students are aware that they will be tested, right? So moving on, the last one, continuous evaluation and improvement. This is necessary in any framework, in any methodology. You will always find a kind of recollect, right? It comes with the test. We talk about design thinking nowadays. Design thinking rightly talks about test, feedback, right? One of the components of design thinking is that. So AI systems should be regularly assessed for effectiveness and also ethical concerns. Policies must evolve to address emerging AI challenges in education. We need to be updated throughout in order to help the students, in order to be in the adaptive towards the change that is happening with the trends, right? We will talk about AI similar to emerging trends like AI that is very, very popular now, that is very, very essential now in the later segment of this session. But we need to check both for effectiveness and also ethical concern, right? And whenever we talk about the productivity, whenever we talk about the effectiveness, there's always money comes in play. The based on the software that we purchase, what type of need that we want, and all those things. But whatever it may be, we also need to, be ready to address the challenges that AI has to, offer when it comes to education. So, cutting it short, right? We went on to talk about, 7 ethical principles, right? And I divided into a different area. I wanted to call it, purpose, knowledge, integrity, purpose, compliance, right? Knowledge. Simple understanding of that. First, let's help them, right? Because ultimately they are in our institutions to achieve their goals. They are not in our institutions to achieve our goals, even though we have our own assessment and other things, passing percentage and so on. Yes. And compliance. We also need to adhere to existing policies, and we need to rethink them. And knowledge. We talked about AI literacy in depth. And then balance. We need to make them understand the risk, benefit, as well as we need to address the risk. They are capable of understanding. They know what they are doing. It's very rarely you will see a student making a mistake, an indeliberate mistake. Most of the mistakes are all deliberate. They know what they are doing. You just need to make them understand it, introduce it in such a way that they will listen to us. And advanced academic integrity. I'm going to talk about that. That's something which we lack. The transparency. What is wrong in us openly say that I have taken this particular insight from ChatGPT? There's nothing wrong. I don't see anything wrong, right? Instead of students, because there's a kind of a myth, there's a kind of a stigma that makes us think, makes us weak or inferior when students come to know that okay, teacher has copied from this one. Hey, this is AI daddy. He simply copied. No, it's nothing big, but we need to be reasonable about it. We need to be able to recheck that. We need to be able to add a proper citations to that, proper resources to that. And that's how integrity happens. And when we do that, they will also do the same thing. And then we need to be an agent when it comes to human decision, and human decision is very, very, very important when it comes to the use of AI. And finally, evaluation. Regularly assess the impacts of AI. It's shocking. I hope some of you might be one among the few who might have used the Ghibli effect, the pixel effect. The cartoon type of recreation that happened in ChatGPT, right? And you'll be shocked to know the number of photos ChatGPT owns, right? They own it. The photos which we shared to convert it into a cartoon is theirs now, right? We need to understand the risk factor along with that, and then play with it. Are you aware of the risk that you're involving? And we are not the category of people who go through and read every word in the terms and conditions, right? We simply say yes and then go ahead. And when you download an app, when you install an app from the Play Store, it automatically believes that, okay, you agree to that. Come on, let's go. When did I agree? You agreed when the moment you said yes to Play Store. You said, yeah, that's it. Not many, very few of us go to an extent to engage what needs to be, how do I control my mobile phone in the setting, right? Probably most of you would not have even known a particular setting called developer mode. Have you? Is your developer mode is on? Have you ever went in, typed in setting, search for developer, and check the number of the areas in which that we have kept it on, off? You can play with it. That's the awareness that most people do not have. So we need to understand it, but while understanding it, we also need to address it. And while addressing it, we need to know the risk. We need to have that awareness of what we are into. So overall, all these principles, right? be it ethical, the data protection, be it transparency and all that, human oversight and everything else. The most important thing is when it comes to AI, these are the simple thing, right? As Spider-Man rightly says, power comes with great responsibility. AI is a powerful tool. We need to, we need to say yes to that. We cannot deny that. Whether we like it or not, somebody else is using that. Whether we are not using it or not, somebody else is using us in the process of using it, right? Sometimes you have no idea that you're using it. You may think that I don't even have any app related to that, but you're already there. WhatsApp, it's there. Swiggy, Zomato, it's there. When you enter into a particular website, the chatbots, it's there. Right? AI is going to be there in everything. I recently purchased a washing machine. It says AI technology. They add probably in the mosquito repellent might come with AI technology soon, or it's already there. I don't know. It's going to be there. The way we design, use, regulate AI will shape the future. So we need to rethink that. We need to look at it that way. So as students, as educators, professionals, decision makers, we are all going to be that. There are more than 500 people attending this, and there are many more maybe in the YouTube live stream. All that I'm asking is, at one point of time, you're going to be there as a young professionals now. We were a student, we are now an young professional, but later on you're going to become a very big decision maker in your own colleges, in your own institution. But AI is going to be there. You are going to make policies of that. You're going to make important decisions on that. At that time, please have the clarity now. Please go through that now. And I think I did not thank enough the DMA management, for introducing this particular topic. They never mentioned about AI tools. They talked about ethics of AI. That's something amazing to conduct it as an international FDP. This is a need of the hour. And I believe that we can use this wisely, but at the same time, understand both these, because we are in that kind of a situation. And this kind of situation should never have come to us, but it's in our hands to feel how far we are going to take it to the next level to the students. All right. So a simple scenario, I think this was one was quoted by the previous speaker as well. A student struggling with deadlines uses an AI tool to generate an essay and submits it without adding their own ideas. Simple. His or her own ideas. The teacher, unaware of it, that it was AI written, praises the essay and gives it a high grade. Their classmates feel it's unfair that the same or better result was achieved with less effort. We see this every day. So we have. I think the overall, the type of scenario that we usually see is we give a group presentation, and that one guy will be staying. One person will be spending a lot of sleepless nights in making it into a PowerPoint, and another guy will come stand in front with the group and then get the same mark. Right? AI can change that. We can use that. So these are the questions that we need to ask. How does using AI in this way affect the students' learning in the long term? The long term is the key. Are we eating unhealthy food? Are we eating more packaged, processed food? The question is, it's not going to happen much when I eat for one day, yes. But what about that consistently eating that? Consistently using that? Will it affect the particular student's learning in the long term? That's something for us to think about. So, or asking another question, what's the difference between using AI for support and outright cheating? How do you differentiate that? I have used AI, the other person also have used AI. How will I measure that one is cheating, and the other one is just inspiration? Where should I draw the line? And how could schools or how could colleges, institutions, address the misuse of AI while still encouraging the ethical and effective use? How do you do that? It's the biggest question that we need to answer. And that's why I told you, you're going to be challenged. It's going to be a very challenging, professional life of ours if you are in the field of education. And as educators, when you're in the process, the policymakers, decision makers in your own, college governing bodies, these are the questions that we are going to answer soon. And when we are going to answer that, it's going to be a very big question of how we answer to that. How well do I know AI that I will make a better solution or a better answer or better decision that I'm going to take. So that's something that I wanted to leave you with. And simple things. Always mention the source. Always. That's all. Let's not worry about the outcome. Hey, I've taken this from here. Come on. What's so alarming in the fact? Right? As language professor, the latest trend now in most of the abroad, other countries other than India, is professors coming out, presenting or delivering a lecture in Gen Z words, using complete Gen Z slang. Gen Z slang has become a very major hit. The way they speak, nobody is able to understand. Right? It's very difficult for us to understand the way in which these people speak. Right? If you play, Korean dramas have a high effect on that. Memes have a very strange, inspiration from things, and also, real life. Real live video games. All these things have given too many words, new words, that they wanted to call it as Gen Z words, Gen Z slang, right? And what I'm trying to tell you is it's going to be hard, but at the same time, there is nothing wrong in utilizing this. It's nothing wrong. The students are going to be, interested in their professor who is very well capable of, handling the AI tools, and the students will be proud of you for utilizing that. And by having a good awareness on that, by having a good hands-on experience on some of the tools, not everything, don't go ahead and start learning everything. A few are very good enough. Start with that. Slowly gain importance. Slowly start, when we start listening to others. If somebody mentions, for this particular thing, this PPT, somebody mentioned Gamma. Gamma is an amazing, PPT, creator, AI creator. You will be surprised, right? I'm not. When I mentioned that, I'm also cautiously warn you. It's not for the laziness part, right? I use Gamma. Amazing result. Amazing. You know. Amazing outline. The difference in the way that it creates an image, right? It makes it very interesting in any topic. But what I do is I don't just type one word prompt and then ask it to create. I prepare, I add the entire thing, and then ask the Gamma to prepare, Gamma to generate. Right? You can try that. You can try that slowly, one by one. And by doing that, you will also know how students are using it. You will also be, keep in touch with the students. You will keep up with the students, learning, and how far they are going ahead in the line of technology, right? The impact of plagiarism is on your reputation. That's very, very important, right? Mentioning that I took this source from here, mentioning that yes, I used this, is far better than people go behind your back and say that no, he copied it or she copied it, right? So that's something. Transparency is something that we need to practice. If we don't, then we have these things. There's an alignment problem. Sorry about that. Then we have these problems, right? It can be plagiarism and academic dishonesty, intellectual property violation, some of this which you have already mentioned in the first to the first question I asked, misinformation and lack of accountability, ethical, missed learning opportunity. That the missed learning opportunity is something where educators have to step in. I need to tell people correctly, or else they will change it, right? That's why we need to teach them. AI literacy is very relevant today, right? And also we all know copyrighted content must be properly credited. Simple, like what we do when we write a paper for Scopus or any other journals, right? Um, or educators, they become risk of legal consequences. Some of you may not be may not have experienced that, but it is a very dangerous thing. With AI and other things, it's very important. There is also one area where people argue it's an AI generated content. Nobody's content. Why should I give copyright? Whom should I give copyright? Right? AI content is whose content? Right? Most of your answer, if it messes up, mess it up, who is the who holds the responsibility? I hold responsibility. I, as an user, I hold responsibility. So it is always good to be a little bit acknowledged at the same time. You'll be acknowledging it for transparency is very good. And also, AI generated information can sometimes contain biases or inaccuracies, right? Inaccuracy. It messed it up when somebody asked a question who is a prime minister of a particular country. It gave a wrong answer, right? You might be aware of that, right? It can give a very different answer. If you talk about certain sensitive things, if you're going to talk about a particular interest of a country, it may give you a different answer. You need to be careful of that. And whenever you get this particular generated content, you must be able to verify its root. You also need to have a similar additional resources to back the findings in any AI tools that you use, because that is something we need to remember. And at the same time, proper citation teaches students critical thinking, and it also be a starting point for them to introduce to research practices. When we do that, when we teachers don't model citation ethics, students may they will unknowingly replicate unethical practices, because there's a high chance you are not doing it. Why should I do it? So let's have that practice. Let's have that habit of doing that, which will make it even more interesting, right? So whatever the AI tools that you use, whatever that you are trying to incorporate in your curriculum, in the day-to-day classroom activities, engagement, meeting the students, a particular topic, a particular subject, or any other than your usual teaching, there is any other extra responsibilities that you have. You might hold something related to a particular association's head, mentoring, for example, counseling, for example. Maybe you take care of this, student affairs, clubs, in a lot of areas where we can showcase an ethical person, an AI literate person, and what are the core values that I need to make sure I need to follow. And if we can do that, I believe that it's going to become an amazing learning environment for the students that we meet, right? So having said enough of this area, and time is 7. Okay, so I have another 15 minutes just to introduce you some of the emerging trends in artificial intelligence. I just wanted to introduce this because some of these things are going to keep coming again and again and again, and you are not going to you can ever say that I don't know this. Every trend that I'm going to show you, you're already aware of it. It's going to be essential. It's going to be necessity in our lives, in our school, colleges, institutions that we are in, and it is high time that we get to know even more further when it comes to some of the trends in artificial intelligence, starting with machine learning. You might have heard this. If you're belonging to an engineering field background, right? This is something
your bread and butter. You know this. We can simply term it as, in a simple term, we can say it as a branch of artificial intelligence, that enables computers to learn from data and improve their performance without explicit programming. It's not a programming language, but you can always improve the performance of doing it. So machine learning, in reality, it um, it 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 empowers computers. So as I told you, recognize pattern, for example, from data, and enhance the decision making, abilities without programming, explicit programming, of course. So there are, I think I can give you some examples to make it even more interesting. The image recognition, for example, if you use when you use a camera, when you start clicking photos, and when you automatically sync or upload it in Google Photos, and when you open Google Photos, an app which usually will be there in your mobile phone, the Google Photos will identify the faces, and if you give a name, it's easy for you to stream them. Right? It can identify a river, it can identify blackboard, it can identify an A4 sheet paper. You can type anything, you will get it. Right? That's something that works with machine learning. Right? So the search for a picture becomes much easier when it comes to Google Photos. So that's something about machine learning. So and also the voice assistants that we use, name it Siri, for example, name it Alexa, Google Assistant, Home. Earlier it was Home. They also use machine learning. They understand the voice commands and improve responses over time. It learns the Alexa that you have in your house. It has an ability to learn, relearn. It corrects. It corrects to a level where a 1.5-year-old baby can mumble something, and still the YouTube is able to realize that it is Cocomelon. It's alarming sometimes, right? You might have had experience in your house, right? It gets it. A baby has no idea, how words are. It says something, and it is able to get, Baby Shark. The video plays. It corrects the mumbling. It always, okay. This little one is always going to ask about Cocomelon. Let's go with Cocomelon. It corrects. So, and also has something to do with. I think I have one more thing to share, and also image recognition. We talked about voice assistants. We talked about. We also have the recommendation system. Netflix, for example, Spotify, for example, it is able to analyze your preference. If you're using Netflix, it comes, since you have watched this movie, I believe that you're interested in this. Based on your previous watch history, we feel this is how it is. Spotify, for example, there is the YouTube Play, right? And many other music players. You just have to click one, and the upcoming songs gets added based on the interest, right? So that's something very, very interesting. Machine learning is something like that. It's interesting if you add along that in your own field, be it arts, be it humanities, engineering, whatever it may be, it is going to be there for a very long time to go. So this particular trend is essential. And moving on to natural language processing, NLP. NLP is another thing, another totally different thing. It focuses on enabling computers to understand and process human language, leading to advancements in voice assistance, sentiment analysis, chatbots, and language translation. That's amazing. So NLP is an area. If you're from the background of literature, let's say particularly ELT, linguistics, for example, and there is a huge gap of research in natural language processing. If you're ever interested in writing a paper, publish, etc., NLP is the future. Right? You can work on that. You can always work on that because there's not many in when it comes to NLP. And mind you, there are many other field of study that are looking up NLP as something very, very important. So it's not only for language, it's for mostly everything. Every other trend that I'm here sharing it with you is for everybody, right? Irrespective of the field or study or school. So I wanted to tell you recently, Google, it introduced a AI-powered real-time language translation to Google Meet. Some of you might have used it. Some of us, after COVID, we may not have used Google Meet very often, but there are colleges that have constant meetings in Google. Right, some of the staff meetings are happening in Google. Some of the mentoring happens in on Google Meet, and you will be surprised to know when you update to the latest software. You'll be surprised to know that real time language translation is happening in Google Meet. Right, so this feature allows users to translate spoken words during video calls into their preferred language. Amazing, right? It's making it easier for people to understand. It makes it easy. It makes it become closer to people. When it comes to research, when it comes to educators, particularly when we can this one particular tool, this one particular create you know new creation will open avenues for us, right? For a long term associations, MOU signing, a lot of things. This will have a very very lasting um, you know moment. And comes next one, third one, robotics and automation. We might be hearing this particular term very often. We believe robotics. I believe robotics means robot. If there is Indian, is robotics, right? Very wrong understanding of things. But but when you understand what the purpose of robots, when you understand that when AI is powered robots, it should not be it just we think that only face are robots, but there are plenty of other ways in which we can look at it. The news reading that you see, um, it's called Madam Suman, the robot, the new robot. It was in Jhansi, a very recent one. Madam Suman operates with the help of artificial intelligence. Currently, she is being operated with the help of Google's customized AI Gemini. She's using Google Gemini, so it's been it helps the students answer questions asked in Hindi, right? It gives a beautiful way of looking at it. It's a mobile phone operated one. It's easy for people to use. Very very simple one. It's a stunning video. You can watch that video. Every small questions that it is asked, every simple questions, it's able to make it interesting. Facts, simple language with interesting facts. There's not much of a hi-fi stuff, but a very simple thing. So AI-powered robots are being deployed in industries such as healthcare, manufacturing, and logistics, transforming processes, increasing efficiency, and performing tasks with precision. It will not mess it up. It will not mess up. It because it's programmed. It's programmed not to do certain things. So we know it's not easy as we can program AI, or a robot. When it comes to humans, we may have the knowledge, we may have the skill, but the attitude. Sometimes we get angry. Sometimes we are emotional beings. Sometimes we mess it up. So AI is something amazing. Just happened to read this, and I thought I would add that with you. So there are future of robotics and automation is amazing, right? Moving on, we have computer vision, right? Computer vision. Uh, I think I can give you an example of how your mobile phone, smartphone unlocks your with face recognition. How phone's camera captures an image of your face, right? And the computer vision algorithms, we may feel, hey, I look at it and it opens, that's it. But the terms involved in that, right? The vision algorithms, analyze the feature, like the distance between your eyes. That's what it calculates. The distance between your eyes and the shape of your nose to verify your identity. These are some of the things that you will be it will be very very amazing to watch. At the same time, let us also, not forget that this technology is the same technology that used in self-driving cars to detect pedestrians, road signs, and obstacles, ensuring safe navigation. This is something that we use there. So this is computer vision, and we have one more, deep learning. Deep learning is another thing, right? Deep learning models inspired by the structure of the human brain are capable of processing vast amounts of data and learning complex patterns, enabling breakthroughs in areas like image recognition, speech synthesis, and autonomous decision making. Machine learning and deep learning always come, hand to hand. We have been hearing this two words again and again and again, right? And I would say, I can give you an example when it comes to deep learning. We can talk about doctors, healthcare particularly, where it helps doctors detect diseases like cancer, right? By analyzing X-rays, MRI scans with remarkable accuracy. They all come under deep learning, right? It's amazing to even hear it, even know it, right? How is it possible for people to detect a tumor, right? That is so tiny. They were able to get it. So these technologies are revolutionizing the industry by making sense of complex patterns in data. It's everything we talk about. We talk about in data, right? Data algorithm, and how do we you know how do we calculate that? How do we value that, and so on. So having talked about healthcare, we have one more, that is AI and healthcare. So AI is making significant advancements in healthcare, introducing disease diagnosis, drug discovery, personalized medicine, and patient monitoring, revolutionizing how healthcare is delivered. Right. So recently, IIT Delhi and AIMS Delhi signed an MOU. Okay, to establish, I think it's a center of excellence for AI in healthcare, probably the first in the country. So it's backed by, I think, a 330 crore grant. So their initiative, that particular initiative is actually aiming, the MOU literally wanted to develop AI-driven solution to support national health programs and improve accessibility to healthcare. So this is one of the kind, probably a starting phase of AI in healthcare when it comes to, within hospitals, and we are going to see more and more, right? And these are some of the things that are going to change the human life, like the way we live. These are the things that we are here for, and by doing that, I believe that we will be able to get it in the right way. So what I wanted to tell you in short is that the current trends that we follow in that are AI related are just going to in the initial phase. There are more. There are going to be more. There are going to be types. There are going to be different avenues in which we are going to look at it. And when we look at them as such, it's going to be a tremendous. The life we are going to live is going to be different. So I know I'm concentrating on so many areas, but I believe that there are more faculties from science, or more faculties from core areas, and of course computer science with the AI, with cloud computing, or IT, software, EC, biotechnology, and everybody. mm, we all can learn something out of it. Right? So one more. So all that I wanted to let you know is, if students decide to get their education from AI, who keeps them on track? That's the question I wanted to ask. So if students decide to get their education from AI, who keeps them on track? Just a moment. All right. So that's the question that we need to ask. And what keeps a learner on track is the human element. Let's not forget that, right? The human element, someone they have a relationship with. AI won't do that. Yeah, in the future, I believe in future AI is going to be used to even to a level where it's going to used to hire you, maybe used to fire you, right? It may do all those things, but the human touch, as I told you in the beginning, nobody can do that. It's only the teachers, it's only the educators. We are the only ones who can do that. So that's something that we need to remember. And only when we do that, we will have an amazing life ahead. And just to conclude, I will conclude with this simple, just reiterating a few points. And if you have any questions after that, I'll be happy to take a few, depending on the time. I just wanted to tell you, before ending, what we have seen so far with the ethical principles. When we need, what are the things that we need to remember before focusing on adding that into our curriculum within our college or institution or whatever it is. Personal life, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention you. When you do that, apply the same ethical principles in your families as well. Apply the same ethical tools within our children as well, because they are the ones who are going to be heavily confused about. I personally got a call from someone who is going to join a college in the first year, just graduated 12th standard, and the parent of that boy told me, sir, because of COVID, it's going to be very challenging for my child in college. I was shocked. I thought when COVID hit, and we might have had a very difficult phase of, let's say, 3 years maximum. And all I thought was all those students who were in 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th at that particular time, I always believed that, COVID batch, right? They had a tough time, no proper social connection and so on. But this mother, when she shared, she told me something. Sir, when COVID was there, I think the current, passed out students of 12th were in their 7th standard when COVID, came. And she said the entire schooling was done because of mobile phone. It's mobile phone. I was able to give the mobile phone to him because of COVID in 7th standard. Now I was unable to get that mobile back when it was over. That's the challenging students whom we are going to meet next in this coming academic year, right? The people we wanted them to learn, somehow we wanted them to learn. We as educators, as mothers, as parents, we gave the mobile phone, smartphone, the technology in their hand, and now they are the students who are going to come to us, right? These are the ethical considerations that we need to, that particular student or the students who are going to come are all, it's going to be very, very challenging for us to give them an ethical practice because of the user, the time, the screen time that they had throughout from 7th standard. It's going to be very, very challenging for us. So that's why the ethical considerations, particularly for AI use in education, is must, right? So in short, AI is widely, used across various industries and fields, right? And it plays a crucial role. We know that in the future of technological evolution, from car, from mobile phone, from car, from any automobile industry, anything that which has a semiconductor, let's say when it has a chip, they are going to incorporate AI to that. There's no doubt about it, right? Mobile phones are coming with AI imprinted on the back of your phone. But adhering to the ethical guidelines is essential for responsible AI development and use. We know that. And building a culture of ethics is going to be a shared responsibility. It's not only with us as educators, it's also going to be with the entire stakeholders of the people whom we are catered to, particularly the students, the parents,
the hiring companies, because that's how things are going to go, right? And ethics guidelines should be incorporated into educational curricula to ensure awareness as well as accountability. I wanted to use the word accountability because responsibility anybody can take. It's the accountability that we must take as educators in order to, build a better person who has the skills of the current, every other skill of the 21st century, computational skill, particularly AI skill, particularly, but at the same time, who is able to, live a life that is moral, that has values, that is something of that area. Only we as professors can do that. And in all these areas, let's not forget who we are. Let's not forget what made us become teachers. Let's not forget how we became teachers and what is inspiring us every single day to step inside that classroom. Whether we are tired or whether we are sick, we are ready to walk into that particular classroom. Let's not forget that moral ground, because that, without morality or ethics of values that made us humans, AI ethics will not be something that we can use. That and this and our future is secured. And let's give an amazing time in this world, introducing all these things. And let's not forget about who we are. And in the process of training them, teaching them, inspiring them, let's try to give as much as possible. New. Let's not be. Let's be bold. Let's be open. Let's be a little bit transparent when it comes to AI tools. But at the same time, remember the values. And with that, I think we will be able to do an amazing, job in our career. Something that we are passionate about right from the beginning. So with that, I close. Thank you very much for your time, and wish you all an amazing academic year ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Joseph R. Cleo. And I was, like as you were presenting, I was thinking of many words to compliment your presentation, but already the participants have already used whatever I had in my mind, starting from very useful, informative, brilliant, excellent. And also there is a testimony in the Q&A, and I would like to read it. It is from Kenya, a participant who is attending from Kenya. The name is Euphrasia Ligabo. So in Kenya, we are trying to introduce AI in our junior secondary education system. This information is so helpful. So your lecture today, I think, is a takeaway for him to implement in his education. And also one participant put in the chat box that heart-touching presentation. And really thank you so much from the bottom of our heart for taking so much of pain, visiting different websites and then referring different books, and then plus your experience in your institution as an English faculty. I'm also surprised, English faculty, about AI. You really had a lot to, and then usually it is meant for robotic department or AI department, but language teacher, you have really made it very brilliant today. So thank you so much. And you have really helped us understand what is right and wrong when we apply AI tools in our teaching learning process, whether it's a student or whether it's a teacher. And then before that, we have to know, we should have self-integrity and moral values. So draw the line and then always choose the right. So it was very clear, and then different principles you have explained, and also the different deep learning, machine learning, things like that also you have explained. And then like each person, when it is AI, like if it is going to a fraudster hand, then he is using it, for making money, cheating people. But as a teaching learning community, knowledge is very precious. It is very holy. So I think here in the platform, we had more than 500 participants today. I could see participants from Kenya, Philippines, Ghana, Congo, Malawi. Maybe some of them from different countries are there, but they have not mentioned their country. also from India, almost from all the states, starting from Punjab, I could see Jammu Kashmir, I could see, and from central India, and then northeast, and then southern India also. So once again, I think your knowledge has reached to all nook and corner in India and also outside India. And thank you so much, sir, for being with us today. And then there are some questions. And before that, I also would like to recognize the presence of Dr. Joseph Dunstan, and also the last day speaker, Dr. N. Asogan, is also with us. And then I would like to spotlight Dr. Joseph Dunstan, and then he's also English faculty, so to add something and also to complement your presentation. Dr. Joseph Dunstan, over to you.
Thank you very much for unmuting me. It was a professional and balanced delivery by my loving son, Dr. Ark Leo. Yesterday I was discussing, or rather, we both were discussing in Global Ethics that I should give a talk on impact of academic libraries in research and development. And you have given me lots of inputs. So I have to now, go against those things because libraries are not being used by the researchers now. Rather, I was sharing with the passion for reading has come down. But no, you have beautifully put it in the plagiarizing and other things and extraordinary carefulness on the part of the researchers. That was a balanced presentation. Excellent. I think I got a lot of insights, and I think I have to do a lot of things also. Maybe to prepare a topic. I have started preparing a talk. I think next week, it's Sri Lankan University, which is organizing an international conference on academic libraries. So what is the importance of academic libraries? The reading is an important thing. As a language teacher, both of us, we talk about this LSRW. And how many of us really concentrate on reading? Everything we have in our fingertips, ChatGPT and everything is fine. But as you said, you feed in the ChatGPT and get your answers. But how many of us are really doing that? That's my question. And you have given us insight in such a way, the professors who are listening to you will definitely rethink what we are supposed to do in our classroom. Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation. Thank you, Regula, for a wonderful opportunity for me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would like to also check with the Dr. N. Asokan. He's the speaker for the 6th day. So if you would like to say something, he can take himself off mute and say a few words. Dr. Ashokan?
Yeah. Dr. Asokan is here, I suppose.
Yeah, I can see his name. Yeah, meanwhile, Mr. Joseph, like you mentioned about data also, and along with the data privacy also, both are in danger. And every organization, every institution, they have actually data. Some institution less, but some institution really large amount of data. And then there are companies who are looking for data. And then it so happened that, the institution head only sometimes, leaking out the data, especially for banking sector. And that data, in today's world, I also, why I'm raising it, I read in one place that the AI can break any password. So we think that it is password protected, but recently there is an AI tool that can break password from your mobile, and then it can become the admin and then operate and take whatever information, including data, credit card, all such details. And then this teaching community, they deal with the students, 4 or 5 classes in each class, starting from 40 to 100 students will be there. So their data will be their assignment, so many things. And then they have to really protect that one. And then basically they have to become familiar with the AI, what is AI, and then, how effectively, efficiently, so that mistakes can be avoided. So what is the piece of advice from your side for the researchers and the faculty members who are out there?
Thank you for asking that question. Very simple question, but even though there are a lot of guidelines given in multiple angles, even from banking sector, you will be receiving too many messages saying that this is how you can protect your data. And even though right from the beginning, many of us know that how to form a strong password. Still, most of our passwords are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And still, most of the, if you check online, you will find the most used password is actually password, right? In that is sector. And most of the time we use the first 2 initials of our name and then @ and then we add our birthday date and the birth month, and it opens. It usually opens. So we need to have a strong password, right? And Google sometimes, now this is the second question. Google sometimes often its own strong password for us, and there is another view whether to trust Google now. If like you say, how AI can play with itself. So all it makes sense for researchers, for research scholars, people writing theses. I have heard personally from 2, 3 of them who have lost their entire data because of laptop virus, their entire thesis. Final copy of the thesis, single copy. So it is always good to have an online cloud, and always it's okay to not only use a free version, but if as educators I use 4 or 5 apps, I have pro version. I pay, right? And there is also one more method which I follow. People can come club together. 2 or 3 professors together can get a pro version. Invest in some of the things that we do, and by doing that we will be able to get a better access, a better options available. So some of Canva will not allow you to use most of the things if you're not a pro user, right? And there are similarly having a plagiarism software is must, and also that it goes with the institution. They have to decide, they have to form a committee, they need to keep people in loop, right? There are some institutions where no plagiarism software is available for the institution. It's sometimes very, very sad to note that. I think the library may not have enough softwares to teach the students, or help with the professors when it comes to paper presentation, paper publishing. There are a lot of things involved. I would say personally we need to take a call on that. At the same time, have your important documents saved in the cloud as well, to solve the trouble. My presentation here is saved in Canva. This was made in Canva, so I have a Canva online, so I know that it is safe. I know it is there. So at the same time, we also need to remember using a proper antivirus, right? It is also very, very essential if you are having a laptop which has everything. So be open to Google Docs. Be open with Google Drive, than putting too much of photos and other things. Important documents and other things must be saved in Google Docs. Rather, many of us we keep storing emails. The emails are taking a lot of spaces. I think than emails, we should be able to use Drive and Docs, and there's nothing wrong in taking an extra GB space from Google. So in the long term, most of us are going to anyway buy these spaces and so on. It's completely all right, but at the same time, we need to be very cautious. 2-step verifications, not many users have. There are still users who have this draw pattern than a PIN number in their mobile phones. Draw patterns are not patterns, not passwords at all. Anybody can do it. Anybody can get it, and even a child will break it. So let's be very cautious. At the same time, let's be very careful when it comes to usage of password. At the same time, usage of spaces, like whether it is laptop or mobile phone.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir. When you mentioned antivirus, I also remember in our mobile phone, a lot of pop-up advertisements, and then in fact some of them are spywares, and then they collect information from our. So we must be double careful, especially the teachers and the students, because you have really a lot of confidential information related to your institution and to your students, to your classroom in your phone. So you have to really find ways to protect what you can, because I also have a sense of a feeling that someone is always monitoring me, when there is nobody around me, whether I'm in the bus or at home alone. And then you just go somewhere and come back home. And then you went near a hotel, then, from Google, how was Leela Palace? You were there. No, that's a message we get. And then, so I think like the AI tools are more powerful than the way than we use. So we have to be very cautious. And once again, I take this opportunity to thank you, sir. And it is time to close, even though there are questions I think we'll not be able to answer today. And then we have already taken 10 minutes extra time. So it is time to formally thank you. On behalf of Global Ethics South Asia Center and DMA Engineering College, Arulvaimozhi, I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude for your enlightening talk on ethics in AI curriculum, emerging trends today. Your expertise and insights have been invaluable to our participants, and we have greatly benefited from your thoughts, perspectives on integrating ethics into AI education. Your presentation was engaging, informative, and thought-provoking, and we have appreciated the opportunity to learn from your experience. Your contribution to the success of our faculty development program has been significant, and we are grateful for your willingness to share your knowledge with us. Thank you for taking the time to share your expertise with us, and we look forward to staying in touch. Your commitment to advancing ethical discussions in AI education is truly commendable, and we appreciate your dedication to this important field. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Dear participants, as we conclude day 3 of our faculty development program on empowering faculty for ethical teaching in the digital era, I'm filled with the gratitude and appreciation for the enriching discussions we have had today. Our session on ethics in AI curriculum emerging trends was truly insightful, and I'm thankful to Dr. Joseph Arglio for sharing his expertise with us. I also thank Reverend Sister Dr. Arokya Mary, Administrator, DMA Engineering College, Dr. Albert Raj, Principal, DMA Engineering College, Dr. Pradibha, the coordinator of this conference from DMA Engineering College, for their wholehearted support and guidance. I also especially thank Dr. Joseph Dunstan and also Dr. Asokan for their precious presence from the beginning till now with us. Your active participation and thoughtful questions have made this program special, and appreciate the energy and enthusiasm that we saw today from the participants, both from India and outside. And though we have come to the end of day 3, I'm excited to see the impact that these conversations will have on your teaching practices and the institutions you represent. Let's take the insights and ideas we have explored today and continue to empower each other towards a brighter future. I'm looking forward to our next session and exploring more aspects of ethical teaching in the digital age. Until then, take care and let's stay connected. Looking forward to connecting with you all again tomorrow at 6 p.m. Indian time. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.